Hi. So, like, I was just thinking at 14, I'd run away from home because my stepmother told me she didn't want me there. And I didn't want to be where I wouldn't want it. I mean, who does? Oh, I didn't understand. Okay, no problem. Anyway, isn't that weird? Like, looks like something rebellious to do to run away from home or something. But the real reason you're doing it is to please your parents. I mean, it's kind of been weird like that. Oh, so I'm laying here in bed, and so I'm thinking, I saw this video, this girl describing her DID, dissociative identity disorder, and and I was thinking about the fact that I was 14 and I ran away, and they found me and eventually stuck me in a psychiatric hospital. It was a fancy place. My dad had insurance. Anyway, so they ran like tests on me and examinations and stuff. Oh God, it was so weird. The interview for whether they were going to take me in or not, what are we going to do with this person, kind of thing, was really intimidating, because they put me in a room with a bunch of like psychiatrists all around, surrounded by psychiatrists, and they were all like giving me the Inquisition. I was like 14. Anyway, so they told me I was having an identity crisis and that it was just a little premature to be having it. Kind of advanced psychiatric conditions. I was behind in school and ahead in psychiatric crises. An identity disorder. He said I wasn't supposed to have that till I was older. I've always been that way, kind of like, like, like I'm sitting here talking to my Aunt Sally some years ago, and she goes, "Oh my God, you sound like you're my age." That's because I've lived several lifetimes worth of shit. I've always been older than my age. Well, now I'm looking really old, but when I was, yeah, I was blessed with when I was younger. I could look older, and if I wanted to, and I could look, just by dressing different or something. Sort of. And back in the old day, oh, and I want to mention this. Not having to show your ID in order to, get a job and stuff like that made it possible for people like me who are underage to take responsibility for ourselves. So, you know, I think the government fucked young people, because young people who could leave home and like work a job, now if they leave home, they their choices are limited to instead of getting a job and, supporting themselves in a legitimate, being a productive member of society. They have to do all this other stuff to survive. Think about that. It's not good. It's not good. I mean, it's just one example of, making criminals out of human beings that they're just trying to survive. Anyway, so I was able to get jobs. I just put on enough makeup and I acted right and, was able to walk in and get a job, pay my bills. I was so proud of myself. The telephone company sent me a letter. Here, you've been a good paying customer for 1 year, and we're returning your deposit. Hey, does that ever happen today? Oh, no. No. I mean, that's what, a deposit was before. It was not a source of income for the company. It was actually to pay the bill in case you didn't. And that was all. It was not a source of, it was not used for, you know what I'm saying? Things are so different now. I remember I went to work at this, it was called the Town Pump. It was a barbecue and a bar. And the guy cheated me on my hours. I did the math, and, I said, wait a minute. So I go back to him with the check in hand, and he says, oh, let me see that. He takes the check out of my hand. He says, I'll bring you another check. And he never gave me the check. He conveniently avoided showing back up. I kept looking for him. So I had to go to my landlord, Mr. Lancaster, who was an alcoholic. Every day he would come down the stairs and around to the side of the building where the garbage cans were, and he would dump his half-gallon bottle of vodka that was empty. I didn't know how Mr. Lancaster kept walking. He and his wife both drank vodka. That reminds me of I was joking around with this guy, and I was asking for money at the, I'm fast forwarding to my age right now. I needed a potato for dinner, and so I went to the Walmart, and I'm like asking people to buy me a potato. And, when you say things, people have an expectation when they're interrupted that you're going to say something that makes, that they're used to. And when you say, so I'm like going, a potato, right? He's coming out with a 12-pack of beer, no groceries. Hello. and he's an old guy. And he's like looking at me like, and I'm going, potato. Potato. He doesn't get it, right? So I say, I'm trying to make vodka. Oh, that he understands. A potato. Oh, for vodka. Yeah, okay. A fellow alcoholic, I understand. But, I mean, but it made him laugh, too. So I'm trying to make vodka. I'm a desperate alcoholic. I need potatoes to make my own homemade vodka. Really desperate for some booze. Buy me some potatoes, please. So that's what happens a lot of times because I'm so different and my goals are so different, right? Or what I need, because I don't, I'm not buying drugs, so I don't need cash. What I really need is food. And anyway, so and the food pantries. I'll give you a lecture on the food pantry sometime, but not right now. But anyway, so so when you walk up to somebody, I mean, I have to be prepared for the fact that they're expecting me to ask them for something that they're expecting me. And if I ask them for something, that they just, they don't hear you. It's like you're, what the hell? You know? Oh, okay, DID. And, what am I going to call this video? Making vodka out of potatoes. I don't know. I have, right, I'm like really in, most people, if they were in my position, right, like physically, mentally, psychologically, financially, emotionally, you know, I guess I'd be like, unhappy and moping around or something like that. And it's like, it's really crazy for me to be like, I'm feeling good. I'm manic, that's why. No, I just know how to entertain myself. Now they diagnosed me as bipolar. That's another story too. Maybe this is about psychiatric stories, right? My psychiatric history, different diagnoses that I received. Maybe I should make it about that. The next time I came in, what was that it? Yeah, I came and oh God, yeah, this is an interesting story. It includes my dad. So the next time that I came in contact with the psychiatric community, I had gotten myself a counselor, and I was, how old was I? Oh, I want to say maybe, I'm not sure. Well, I'm trying to remember what was going on at the time. Maybe I can pin it down that way. Well, I want to say 20 something, okay? 21, 22, somewhere around there. So I was seeing this really sweet guy who was the counselor, and I didn't know it until he told me this, right? So I'm like, he's asking me about my complaints, why I've come to see him. And I started describing my tunnel vision. That I felt physically detached from my body all the time. like I was a little tiny person inside of my body, operating my body, and that it seemed like I was this little tiny person looking through my eyes and looking at the world, like I had this total feeling constantly of this kind of detachment. I was constantly in that state. And it was very disturbing, It didn't feel like I was there, you know. And he said, "Oh my God." He said, "I counsel veterans. This sounds like PTSD." So this diagnosis I received 20s. I'm 60 in 2020, or almost 60, so that's like 40 years ago. They weren't used to. Now, young people get diagnoses of PTSD, but back then he was sitting there scratching his head going, "This doesn't make any sense. She's never been in combat." Oh, really? I guess you didn't grow up in my household. My mother almost killed me a couple of times. Really killed me. Like, I passed out, kind of thing.